What's going on, y'all? Back here, new damn video. Eagles versus Seattle Seahawks, week 13. Let's get right down to it. I know I'm not drinking a brew this time. I'm drinking a Baya drink. Watermelon with lime. I just thought I'd point that out there so people don't say, gee, you drink too much in your videos. I just like to relax after work. But let's just get right down to it. This is a tough matchup. This is an NFC Showdown. Okay, this is a possible NFC playoff game. It's going to be a tough game. Okay, now all you biased Eagles fans, I'm an Eagles fan, you know that, die hard. But to all you biased Eagles fans, okay, who are going to say, we're going to blow them out, we're going to kill them, we're going to beat their ass. On paper, we should. No Cam Chancellor, one of the leaders of the defense. No Richard Sherman, one of the best corners in the NFL. They don't got him. We should stomp them out. We should dismantle them. But this is their Super Bowl. And the reason I say it's their Super Bowl is because they need these wins. They cannot afford to lose any more games. They enter a division with the I almost said St. Louis. They're in the division with the Los Angeles Rams, and they can't afford to lose any more games. Los Angeles Rams are 8-3. Okay, the Rams are 8-3, and they just keep winning and winning and winning. So they can't lose this game, or they'll be what, 7-5 or 7-4 right now. Okay, they need to keep ripping off wins. Last week they were not too impressive versus the 49ers. Russell Wilson, first play of the game was an interception. I watched it and went, wow, that was not a good pass. Very good escapability from the pocket. He moved out, boom, went to throw it to Jimmy Graham. He should have just lofted it. And the loft, if he threw a loft, you know, like a touch pass, because in my opinion, he has one of the best touch passes I've ever seen in the NFL. Honestly, he does. The way he just touch passes that lobs it right in there is perfectly. If he would have pulled one of those off on that play, and it would have went over the corner, and if it wouldn't have went over the corner, it would at least went out of bounds over Jimmy Graham's head. I guess he put a little too much zip on it, intercept the first play of the game. Like, wow, okay. I keep watching the game. Next thing you know, they did beat the hell out of the 49ers. But that's a divisional game, so those games are always close at first. Divisional games are always tough. I mean, look at us versus the Giants. The Giants suck, and it was close. But we weren't as good as we were then than we are now. Okay, we weren't that good back, week 3. We were just getting started, just getting in the groove of things. But divisional games are always close, unless it's like us versus the Dallas last week. That's just once in a while, once in a blue moon that happens. But the 49ers always played Seattle tough. The Rams always played Seattle tough, even though they had shitty coaches, shitty QBs. But I'm just pointing that out there. So don't look at last week's game and say, well, this and that. We did better versus 49ers, so we should be able to beat them. Look, this is a tough game for them. We have nothing to lose. They have everything to lose. We have nothing to gain. We have nothing to gain. They have everything to gain. Okay? And the reason I say that is because they can't keep winning these games. They're down their safety. They're down their corner. Okay? And it's in Seattle. Okay? The last time the Philadelphia Eagles have beaten Seattle was 2008. Was the last time we beat Seattle. Or we beat Seattle in Seattle. I look at our previous 3 meetings, 2011, I think the score was like 21-11, something like that. Year prior was 24-14. Last year, I think it was 24-15. So we improved by 1 point. Almost each year that we face them, 1 point improvement, that's it. This team, it just has our number, and that's the thing. That's the thing that worries me. In Seattle, that's it. If it was in Philadelphia, if this game was in Philadelphia this week, I say we rip them to shreds because they're not the same Seattle team they used to be, okay? But this is another test for me as a fan to see. You're stepping into Seattle, a place that scares a lot of people, especially this team. Hell, I seen them step in Seattle last year. They look like pussies. They walked out, they look like bitches. And I know it's a different year, different players, gee, blah, blah, blah. I want to see it first, bro. Show me it. I've seen a lot of people crumble inside that stadium, and especially us. I've seen us crumble. It seems like we versed Seattle the past 2 years, in 2014 and then in 2016. And it seems like we went into those games, we were winning games before then. We had top defenses. Each time had top defenses. And it's like they bullied us. They punked us. They bitched us. They stomped this out. We need to turn the page on that and make us be the bully, and them, you know what I mean? Let us be the bullies this time. Let them be the nerds, okay? Let us be the bullies. Let's stomp them out. That's how it needs to be. We need to go into their house, like I said last year, go into their house. You need to fucking score on them quickly. Bang, 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 bang. Wentz needs to jam it down their throat. You need to run the ball with Blunt. And defense needs to get after Russell Wilson, which is the key component in this whole thing. I seen it last year. Prime example. Russell Wilson, we sack him, sack him, sack him. Then it's 3rd and 22, and somehow he does a 360 spin off this guy, spins off this guy, spins off that guy, bam, throws a first down completion. And I seen it in the 2014 game too. I know it's different players. I know they're going to say, gee, it's different players, this and that. I'm just telling you off experience, okay? This year from last year was a big jump for this team. We are a better team than we were last year, but it's still some of the same players and the same coaching staff, okay? That's all I'm saying on defense. You've got to contain Russell Wilson. His offensive line, people say, well, his offensive line is terrible. It has sucked for years, okay? We always do that. We sack him, down where he breaks off stuff, breaks out of things, bang, gets this off, gets this off, okay? Now, what we do have going in our favor, before I get to what's going in our favor, Pete Carroll, since taking over the job of Seattle Seahawks, I think he's 48-3 or 48-4 or something like that at home. Okay, but I will say this is the one thing I will say I'm confident about. So far this year, they already lost twice at home. They lost to Atlanta in a close game, and I can't remember who else was it they lost to. Damn it. I can't remember off the top of my head, but they lost to Atlanta and they lost to someone else at home, and they almost lost to the Houston Texans. They were this close to losing to the Houston Texans with a rookie quarterback in Deshaun Watson, and that was a shootout game. That was like, what, 38-40 or some wild stat like that, or, 38-40. I don't know. It was a shootout game. So the way I look at it is, if Deshaun Watson, a rookie, can go up there with a bad offensive line like the Texans have, not as great weapons like we have, and can put on a show, Carson Wentz should be able to. And if not, it's a little worrisome. They still do have Bobby Wagner, who's the best linebacker in the NFL. Well, second best, because I think Luke Kuechly's the best. They still have a ferocious defensive line. But this time I want to see a change. Eagles, it's a different year. I've been hearing from fans. I've been hearing from everyone. You guys have proved me wrong so far. Vegas loves us. They got us at, what, 5.5 favorites in this game? That's pretty high for me. But let me tell you something. It's Sunday Night Football. Let's not get embarrassed on Sunday Night Football. Let's go in there and do what I've been waiting for this team to do every time they face this team. 2014, yeah, we went 10-6, but that team we were supposed to make the playoffs. We thought we had an elite defense. Shit the bed. Russell Wilson's pooping all over us. Last year, it was different. Different quarterback, everything. Russell Wilson catches a touchdown on us. That's what you got to watch out for Seattle, too. They do a lot of trick plays, whether it be with the flea flicker or it be flea flicker like it did against the Giants a couple weeks ago, or against us a couple years ago where they flipped it up to Doug Baldwin. Doug Baldwin passed the pass touchdown to Russell Wilson, or when Pete Carroll likes to do the fake field goals or the fake punts. We need to watch out for that because they love doing that stuff, okay? If they get down in the game and they get desperate, they'll do it. Let's go, Birds. I ultimately, in my heart, think we should win this game. But I think Seattle has a lot more on the line for them. We don't. We can lose this game and still be fine. We'll still be fine, okay? I ultimately think we win this game. But if we don't, I wouldn't be surprised. Just don't get embarrassed. Go out there and put a fight on and do what I've been wanting you to do for the past couple years. Go into Seattle and beat Seattle. It's time for you to step in there and say, look, Seattle, you've been dominant since 2013. But we are the new Seattle Seahawks. We are the 2013 Seattle Seahawks. We're coming for blood. I want to see it. If this team really is a dog-fighting team, then step into that wild jungle out there in Seattle. Step into that stadium. Step in there with those hogs and those brutes they got on defense. Even though Cam Chancellor and Sherm is down, step in there. It's still bad boys on defense. They still got Rough Riders on defense, okay? Our offensive line has no excuse this week. Seattle's offensive line sucks. Sorry, our defensive line has no excuse. Sorry, our defensive line has no excuse. Seattle's offensive line sucks. We should plow through it, and we should rip Russell Wilson's head off. Now he's gonna get some of those tricky plays. He always does, flipping and flipping and dipping and slipping. Nah, it's time to get to him. There's no excuses. Okay, I say attack Maxwell as much as you can. Byron Maxwell, attack his side, attack him, and pound the ball. Okay. We're going to stuff the run on them. They have Eddie Lacy running the ball, or whoever else. I'm not worried about that, okay? Russell Wilson, as I said, this is the time of the year he gets hot. Let's not let it happen to us, okay? This is the best defense he's probably faced all year so far. Texans defense sucks. The freaking, what's it called? Atlanta's defense sucks. So, not sucks, but it's okay. This is probably the best defense Russell Wilson will face so far all year, and this is probably the second best defense that Wentz will face, because Panthers were the best so far. Let's go Birds. Let's get right down to it. Let's beat Seattle. Let's finally do it. Since 2008, it's been a long time, almost a damn decade. Let's get it done. Go Birds, baby.